One of the things I like about these type of games is going into it, you have very low expectations. Knowing that Lavine was going to be out along with Kobe White and Garrett Temple against one of the best teams in the league in the Phoenix Suns, you already know that the Bulls are likely going to come away with this one in a loss. The only thing I ever really like to see is that the Bulls at least make it competitive with who they have to work with. And without their leading scorer and all-star in Zach Lavine, and that it was a pretty gut-wrenching to see that the Bulls come so close to potentially winning this one. I'm not going to say that the Bulls looked incredible, but with what they had and in playing a good team on the road without their best player, they looked great, especially in the second half. In case you missed it, in the third quarter, the Bulls were down by as many as 16 points at one point, but kept pushing through. They got stops and fought their way back, but it just wasn't enough for the Bulls to pull off an upset win, and the Bulls are now looking at a 5-game losing streak. So what's going on, everyone? You are listening to Bulls Central here. Hope you're all doing well. This likely won't be a long post-game video, first of all because it's a little late, but I wanted to get a video out to you guys shortly after the game rather than tomorrow, as I have a couple of good video ideas for you guys tomorrow. But look, what I liked seeing from the Bulls in this game compared to what we saw against the Warriors and Spurs is the guys played strong. They hustled, they kept the ball movement going, and they actually didn't turn the ball over that often. Only 9 turnovers for the whole game. I feel like that has to be a season low for the Bulls. They've had quarters where they've turned the ball over more times than that. And against a great defensive team in the Suns, and the Bulls especially struggle in taking care of the ball against strong defensive teams. The Bulls were decent, actually, on defense, too. I mean, it wasn't amazing, but better effort than what we've seen recently from the Bulls. And did anybody else see that incredible snatch block from the rookie on DeAndre Ayton going up for the lob? I think I nearly jumped out of my seat after seeing that one. He then turned the ball over right after that. But that's got to be one of the best defensive plays that I've seen this year from the Bulls. This kid, you know, if he continues to develop that offense, he is going to be an incredible player in this league 3 to 5 years from now when he starts heading into his prime. Now, the hustle on the defensive end was there, but boy, the Bulls did not have an answer for Devin Booker. 45 points on 17 for 24 shooting. I feel like the guy just couldn't miss no matter what shot he took. He's just an incredible scorer, really. Ever since he entered into the league, he's been an incredible scorer. I mean, outside of Booker, the Suns actually, you know, were fairly quiet from the rest of the players. Ayton wasn't much of a factor. CP3, I mean, he was obviously great at running the offense. I would have loved to have him on the Bulls after Billy Donovan coached him last season. But listen, for the Bulls, they played hard this game, and they played well throughout. They were in this game throughout the whole thing, even through the fourth quarter. I think we've seen a number of times where the Bulls have played well through most of the first half, and then they've fallen apart in the second, or they've played well up until the fourth quarter. But give the Bulls credit, they kept the Suns on their toes in this one and kept hanging around until the very end. You know, initially I was going to come on here and praise Denzel Valentine just because he was hitting so many ridiculous shots and was playing with a ton of confidence, which I guess, you know, he's always playing with a ton of confidence, even when he's shooting 0 for 8 from the floor. But then, of course, Valentine really made some costly mistakes down the stretch with a couple of bad threes that weren't really needed when the Bulls were making a little run with less than 2 minutes to go. And then that bad turnover with less than a minute to go when the Bulls were only down 3, and Chris Paul went and took it down the other end, got fouled, and took the lead up to 5. And then the Suns never looked back after that. But look, there was a lot of bright spots from this game. First of all, Markkanen showed up very well tonight and was probably the most aggressive that I've seen him be all season, particularly on the glass and actually fighting for rebounds for once. He had 10 boards in total on the night. He didn't shoot the ball all that well, but 16 points on 5 for 13 shooting. He's still, you know, really struggling to find his 3-point shot though, going 2 for 8 tonight from deep, but I liked seeing the aggression from Markkanen. Hopefully it was a little bit of a wake-up call in the fact that he got benched, and of course he would have come off the bench tonight had Zach Lavine been available to play. Thaddeus Young, you know, he had a great bounce back game from his subpar performance against the Warriors. He was out there hustling. He was giving the Bulls a ton of second chance opportunities tonight. I was shocked to see that he only had 6 offensive rebounds because it felt like he was grabbing everything that was being missed. Granted, 6 offensive rebounds is actually incredible. He had the most offensive boards out of anyone in the whole game between both teams. Thad finished with the game with 19 points, 10 rebounds on 7 for 14 shooting to go along with 4 assists. How about the rookie? You know, we talked about the crazy defensive play that he had at the rim on Ayton, but he was great on offense tonight as well. 16 points on 7 for 11 shooting. And then, of course, Vucevic, you know, just a typical night for him, 24 points and 10 rebounds. He's just been very consistent so far in the 3 games that he's been playing with for the Bulls. One of the more eye-popping stats to me, though, was that I was really surprised by how much the Bulls out-rebounded the Suns tonight. Not even just in terms of total rebounds, where the Bulls had 50 versus the Suns 32, but the Bulls had 18 offensive rebounds compared to the Suns 4. The Bulls were getting all kinds of second chance opportunities. Again, something the Bulls have struggled with all season, and that really enabled them to stay into this game. Now, of course, you would prefer probably to see your guys hitting shots and shooting efficiently to where you don't have to grab so many offensive rebounds. But it was great to see the bigs crashing the glass on offense. Now, the Bulls didn't shoot all that well. That was part of the problem tonight. Only 43% from the field compared to the Suns shooting 57%. And the Bulls are still struggling to hit from outside, shooting 11 for 33 from 3. Really hope they start figuring that out and start working on that more in practice, because that is very critical to their overall offense. Because when they're not hitting those shots, it's never a good sign for the Bulls, and they need to start going into the paint more actually when that is happening. But look, I think the positive we can take away from this game is that the Bulls slowly but surely are starting to find a rhythm with the roster changes post-trade deadline. The guys were moving the ball well and playing team basketball and hustling on defense. And guys, I don't want to hear about how this game clearly means the Bulls are better off without Zach Lavine. I know most of you are not going to be saying that, but I'm sure there are going to be some out there who will say that it's actually Zach holding us back, or even that Kobe is holding us back. Look, you know, how much better we are without Lavine. I can just see the comments now. You know, he doesn't fit well with Vucevic. I'm not even going to entertain those types of comments. This was one game. The Bulls played well, and if Lavine played and we had his extra offense, the Bulls likely would have won this game. I'm glad Lavine didn't play though, because the last thing you want for him is to re-aggravate that ankle and be out for an even further extended period of time when we're really going to need him throughout April to make that playoff push. I'll keep you guys posted on Lavine's status. Hopefully he'll recover quickly and maybe even be back by Friday's game, if not by Sunday. Let me know what you guys felt about the game though. Did you see the Bulls making a bit of progress from what we at least had saw the last 2 games? There's still a lot of work to do. I don't think anyone will disagree with that, but it was good to see these guys playing a little better together and starting to gel with the new teammates. I'll be back out with another video tomorrow, so be on the lookout for that. Thanks again as always for tuning in, guys, and I will catch you in the next one.